Hey guys, it's Will here. I want to do a video on the markets again and pick out some strong sectors and stocks that you can potentially look at. I'm using TC2000 here. If you want to get a free trial or $25 off your purchase, check out the link in the description below the video. It's a great program. So I've got this watch list with markets. You can see these tabs. So I've got a lot of information just in a small space. I've got different tabs with different watch lists and different scans. So we'll go through the markets, and I've been talking about this for a while, but Nasdaq's been in a downtrend. You can see, obviously, if you look at my videos, I've been talking about this for a while, so it's not just recently. But if you look at a weekly chart, so up here on TC2000, you have these day, 2-day, weekly, monthly, whatever you want to set up here. You can do shorter term trades as well, but you're above the 50 in a nice uptrend. Then you broke that trend, and now we're in a downtrend. We have another lower high here. So this was a high and then a lower high. And we're sort of sitting at the 200-week moving average. But here we're about to bounce off the 50. So a lot of times we go back up. You can see here, I'll turn on the lines, but we're in this downward channel. But we also have horizontal supports or resistances. Let's say up here. I'll just go across. So if you put a horizontal, if you bounce off these, there's a kind of support lines, but once you break through that, sometimes it comes back up and doesn't quite make it. And then you've also got the 50-day moving average, so people watch that as well. The other thing that's not great is the momentum is pretty low. You see here the zero line is kind of usually where you get around the 50-day moving average, but you can see that the moving averages, like the 200-day was resistance up here. But back here where we had this nice uptrend, we're generally above the zero line, for momentum. If it gets really low, there could be a buying opportunity like as a reversal, but we're in this downward channel. It's not looking great, so we're right about the 50. So not a great, there's been a bounce in the tech growth stuff over the past little while. You can see we get to the lower part of this channel and then we reach up to here. So that's usually targets, like we bounce off the channel and then your target would be the 50-day or the upper range of that channel. S&P, they're all in the same sort of situation, downward channel. This one's a bit of an opening, wider one, but we're in this downward channel. We've had a bit of a bounce off of the lower range here. IWM, downward channel, bounced off the 50. Dow Jones hasn't quite made it to the 50. So those are all kind of in similar situations. So then, and that kind of guides your general bias towards downtrends or upward trending. If you want to short things, you can get inverse. I have a tab here on inverse ETFs. So I found a whole bunch. Instead of scanning all the time, I just have a list that I created. And also, like, I have these list of columns here. If you right click on it, you can say save the column set. So once you get a nice set of columns, like I have 30-day, 90-day, 5-day performance. I have some conditions here with check marks if it's above the weekly or monthly. Once you have that, you can save it as a set. If I go save as, then I have a choice to save it as a default as well. So then every time I open up a new window of it'll give me all those columns automatically. So I love a lot of the features of TC2000. And I point out, formulas as well. Like in this 30-day, if I edit this, you can see there's this little, it's called PCF, personal formulas, but C is close minus this close 30 days ago. So C.30, and then I divide it by the close and then the current close times 100. So that gives me percentage of the 30-day, and then I do the same thing for 5-day and 90-day. So I can see what's not just today's change, but I can see what the 5-day, 30-day trend is looking like. And so there's things like the Nasdaq inverse PSQ, and there's also leveraged ones 2 or 3x as well. But you could potentially look at those. But for the sectors, what I do is if I have a scan here that looks for things that are above. I'll change it back to the daily, but I look for stuff that's above the volatility stop, the green, and the 50-day moving average. There's different things you can look at. But what stood out to me, or what I'll do is, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is look at like 5-day performance or 30-day to see what has been doing well. So what stands out is the Biotechs. XBI is probably the biggest gainer in terms of the Biotech. You can see here that, we had, once we broke this little pullback here and had a bit of a double bottom, we've been going up. So these little pullbacks are spots to get in, like especially in an uptrend, when you have this pullback and it stays, it goes in that uptrend. You can see the momentum is crossed up above zero. Those ones are looking good. Now, a one that's similar but not quite as high interest, ups and downs. If you don't want to have too much of an up or down in the ETF as much as other ones. IBB, it went up 4.78 this week last week versus 8. This XBI basically is double the IBB, but it's similar, And so ARKG is a genomics one as well, and it's done really well. It's actually higher than XBI in terms of the 5-day chart. If we look at 5-day chart, you've got obviously ARKG, Germ, like I mentioned, XBI. You've got the cryptocurrencies have had a recent run. So Ethereum and GBTC, Bitcoin. ARKG is another one that, so there's other ones here, but those are kind of the bulk ones. So if you look at XBI, then you can drill down. That's what I like about TC2000. You can drill down into the ETF and find the, the Biotech. So if I sort by 5-day, I can see the best performing ones, or 30-day. And so then I can click on any of these and go into them. So if you want to get TC2000, don't forget to check out the link in the description below for a free trial or $25 off. I've got the gold plan, and I have US real-time data as well, so that I don't have a delay. Like right now, I'm in the pre-market. It's 7:36 Eastern time in the US. And I see the actual price this morning. If I click on 10 minutes, I'll see a gray bar, which shows me the section that's in the pre-market. So if you want to look at pre-market, and even you can trade, some people can trade in the pre-market, lower volumes usually, but you can see what's happening before the market opens. So I really like that feature. Beam. So if you're looking at a trend line, you have this downtrend on the weekly chart, and you're crossing that up now with a big, huge candle and green volatility stop. If you go back to daily, you have this downtrend line. We've kind of broken through it, but right when you got above the 50 and then there was that pullback, I like to draw a little line when I see this pullback, and then you had a really big candle, 12%, whatever. Or actually I can click right on that day and see 16.8%. So that's a big, huge trend, up thing there. But stocks, obviously you have earnings dates, and you have, oh yeah, another thing with TC2000 is I added this earnings date, so you can put things on the chart for earnings dates. I made it a little bigger, and it shows me. So I don't necessarily want to trade or buy something right before earnings, because it could go up or down. It's hard to tell. Some people do want to do that, but I don't necessarily want to do that. So that's a nice feature, is being able to add the earnings date. So this is the way you can look at stocks for some of the ETFs. If you go to, like I said, IBB, and you click on that, and you sort by whatever you want to sort by. It doesn't have to be today's price, but like this is 32% in one day. This is today, actually. That's huge, unbelievable. So Biotech obviously is a riskier, more volatile situation, ETF, but in a sector. But we're not sure if the tech is going to go to how long that's going to go for, but just might be a short little rally. But like today, Nasdaq's down 0.76, but we're not sure if that's gonna how long that's gonna go for. So if you get into something like, say you got into biotech, the XBI, what I was gonna say was, if you have this pullback here and then you see this up day, you could set your stop right below that low. So therefore it's a fairly low risk entry. If you're getting up here, you can use these volatility stop lines, but the actual low where you had support and people buying was down here. So that's why when you get in after a pullback, it's a good entry point, in terms of a spot, that showed support that you could use as your stop, and not have to have too much of a loss from a way up here. But if you do get up here, and you can use a volatility stop, instead as your stop. But the price action is probably stronger in terms of the, in terms of having a recent low right there. Some cloud stuff as well. It's just getting up above the 50, and the momentum is getting close to zero here, the zero line. So that's all I wanted to say for today, and good luck. We'll talk to you in the next video.